What is up, YouTube? My name is Alex Panega. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to create mobile responsive designs slash apps inside of Sketch. So in 2018, right, if you're a designer, UI or UX, you probably are doing a lot of mobile design. When I was doing web design years ago, I did hear a lot that as the years progress in design, you're going to be doing a lot more mobile, and that seems to be where the trend is going. So I just thought I'd do a quick tutorial on how to design for mobile. This could be confusing for beginners, but it's actually very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. I like to do web because I have a bigger canvas, but for mobile, it's actually easier than web for me. And the reason I say that is because you have a smaller canvas size. That's less things you have to think about. On web, there's a lot of white space. There's a lot of, you have to switch up sections to make things feel more fluid. And apps are actually very simple. You stick to what works, and you kind of just draw inspiration from outside sources, and it's kind of hard to get it wrong. So I'm gonna go straight into this tutorial, guys. So let's do this. So I'm on Dribbble. I was thinking about what app I should do, or how I should go about this, but I just typed in apps up here, and probably the first one that gets my attention I might do. So this one right here, if look, it says Find Green Recognition Plant app, right? Very visually appealing, very clean. So let's actually do this. And this is by Hippie Mo out of Fine Art Studio. So shout out to him for doing this design. I'm just gonna copy this image. I'm gonna paste it in here. And let's get straight into this tutorial, guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is Sketch is awesome. You can go into Insert Artboard, and all that does, guys, is it lays the canvas down for mobile. So for web, you guys might freestyle it, right? You guys might just click Artboard, draw something, and then start designing in here. When I'm designing for mobile, always, guys, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I do not know the dimensions of the width by heart yet. I'm not one of those freaky, geeky designers that knows every single pixel for every single device. So what I do is I just go to Artboards, I click on that, and on the right side you can see we have responsive design. You can click this, Apple devices, Android, paper sizes, custom. I like to just go straight into responsive design. So if I actually click that, it'll actually lay the artboard down, and I can start designing. So the first thing I do when designing for mobile is I like to get my gutters in place. Gutters, for you guys who are not familiar with that, are basically what I do not go outside of in my canvas. So if we go to this design by the dude that I just shouted out, whatever his name is, from Fire Art, you could see he has gutters basically all the way down, right? Pretty consistent, right? This aligns with that, this aligns with that, this text aligns with this left measurement, all the way down. You might be off by a few pixels, but for the most part, very consistent if you're looking at it from afar. So I'm gonna lay my gutters down. So this looks like it's 26 pixels. There's no right or wrong, guys, but I like to have my gutters be within 10 pixel dimension, so I'm actually going to round this up to 30. So I have my measuring sticks on the right and left side of this mobile artboard, and now I can start designing. So the first thing we see here, it says, "Hi Mike, what plant do you see?" So let's just text that out. What you can do is you can hit the T command on your keyboard. You can just drag, and all this is going to do is it's going to confine your text to not go further than that space. It'll break it and put it on the line below before it allows you to touch where, outside of that parameter. So let's type in what it said. So it said, "Hi Mike, what plant do you use?" What plant? I don't use any plants though. I like plants, but I don't use any plants. What plant do you use? And we'll notice right here, his text is fairly small, so I'm gonna make mine a little bigger. For mobile, it's a very small canvas. I like designing with bold typography, so the user doesn't have to think. They see what they're seeing right away. There's no guessing involved. So I'm actually going to make this font size about 20, maybe like 22. That feels good to me. I'll increase the line spacing just a bit, and then we're good to go. So he has this avatar to the right. We don't have space for the second line break, but we do have space right here to put an avatar. So I'm just gonna hold shift, making sure that I get a perfect circle, and then I'll tap it to the right. There we go. Then we see that he has this search bar. So the way that he made this search bar, I'm just gonna hit the word U. That's gonna allow me to make rounded rectangles. So I can just stretch that out to my measuring sticks, bring that up, get that perfect at 300. Bring my fill to white, right? Because this fill is white. He just has a shadow, very nice clean shadow. Big fan of shadows. I love the shadow game in the design space. So I'm going to increase that blur to 20. The Y is the down, so I'm going to put this to like 10. And then what I'll do is I will bring this opacity to about 10. So close, right? And then he has his daily plants and play all. So it looks like he has some sort of playlist. I will go ahead and replicate that as well. So I'm going to type the word daily plants. And he has a button to the right of this, guys. So let's first reduce the size by about 16, and then we will use the U tool as well. When I say U tool, guys, all I'm referencing is I'm just hitting U on the keyboard, and it's allowing me to fastly create these rounded rectangles. So I'll bring that up. Now I can go in, I can grab this guy's color, right? Just using the color picker tool right there, and then he has a play all. So I can come in here, right? I'm using Command Zoom on my key on my mouse to zoom in and out, and I'm just gonna type the word play all. Perfect. I'll bring down this to about 12, and then I can just make this white. If we had more time, I like to keep my tutorials under 10 minutes if possible, because I know all of you guys are busy. But if we had more time, I'd actually create this icon right here. But I want to get to the more important task of the item below. So it looks like this item actually stretches all the way across, right? The left side, the padding is definitely there. The right side, there is no padding. You can see that the next, plant, if you will, is actually running off the artboard, which we're going to do as well. So U tool again, I'm going to stretch that out, and then all I'm going to do here, guys, I just removed the border. I'm just going to replicate this. So I'm going to hit Option Shift, I'm going to drag it right here, and then I'm just going to hit Shift to go over 20 pixels. Let's zoom out to see. It looks about maybe 15 pixels, so I might bring this into about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he has this awesome plant photo right here. He has a little bit of a gradient overlay and a play button. So the first thing I'll do is I'll make this a pink, as he has right here. And then let's go here and grab a plant. So I'm just gonna put, you know what, actually I did a tutorial on this where I like to get my photos is Unsplash. So I might just go there, type in plant, grab this one. I like colors that I like photos with an abstraction to them. So this is very abstract, right? Solid background color, and then you have this green plant. So I'll bring that guy in just a little bit, right? And then, you know, this takes some time to understand like how to position this. He has his plant to the far right. That is a design style. So I'm gonna do the same, and I'll bring this up just a little bit and shift that to the right. Perfect. And then he does have an overlay, guys. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the mask. The image is masked under this, but that mask is the right size to go over. So all I'm going to do is hit Option, drag above my image, and I have this gray square. And he has a gradient that's see-through. So I can actually just bring this from left to right. This right color. I can go up here. I can grab that. And this left color. I can go over here and I can grab that. Perfect. And then you can see it gets cut off right. It gets cut off right here. So let's go back over here. It is actually not rounded on the right corners as well. So I can actually just double click till I can access the points. Bring down the corners, and then I'm going to use Shift to go over just a few pixels. So let's go over a couple more. That's good. And then he just has an opacity over it. You could play around with blend modes. I did do a tutorial on really awesome blend modes for typography in my Yeezys tutorial. But for this tutorial, we'll just use opacity. So we'll keep it like that. He does have a play button here, guys. So I'm just going to hit the O command on my keyboard. I will center this. I will remove the border, make the fill white, and add a little bit of a drop shadow here. Perfect. And then he has some text over it. So he has 03 July, and I think that's the plant's name. So I will just bring this to the front. I'm just going to put plant name. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to put it on the far left. Now, I would never leave the design as like this, guys, because it's too far to the left. It's too cluttered. So, but what I like to do is I like to get it far to the left, and then I like to use Shift arrow to go over 20 pixels, 10 pixels. For this one, I'll go over 10, and then I can bring this to white, bring this down to medium, and then 03 of July. I don't know what's today's date, the 17th of October, so I can just drag this down. I'll put 17th, perf, and then let's actually do some design trick where you don't type out the full month. I will bold that out, we'll bold that out, and voila. So that looks pretty close to that. You could have, you know, their play button is a little bit bigger, so I might make mine 35, whoopsies, 35 pixels by 35 pixels. And then let's really quickly make this play button so it's just a square. I'm gonna rotate it on its side. I'll double click it so I can remove this left corner. I will drag this to the center, and then I can just make this color any color I want to. So let's actually make this color. Boom! So there you go. So we just hit 10 minutes, guys. I can go down this, but I know you guys are busy. I'm a busy guy. I can go more into this tutorial if you guys like. We can actually do more screens like this if you guys would like to see more screens. But for the most part, that's a glimpse on how I would create an app. Thank you to this designer for creating this. I didn't want to come up with something clever. I didn't have the creativity to come up with something clever. So that's why we went and grabbed that inspiration online from Dribbble. And if I remove these gutters, you can see what this actually looks like. So this is how you do mobile design in 2018 on Sketch. There's a lot of different ways. Some people might want to, you know, have an artboard from an Apple device if you know specifically you're doing an Apple device app or some sort of content thing on that device. But this is how I would go about creating any mobile responsive design. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me in the email below. I will be giving you guys access to this sketch file, so free to use, all yours. Steal it, do whatever. And if you guys have any questions, email me below. But I think I said that already. So I am out, YouTube. Peace.
From